I don't really like this one.
No, I don't either. Both the guys are just really green.
I don't like that one either.
Nope.
Cute, but...
Yeah, she is cute, but we'll do a girl grudge match at some point. I don't like this one either. This girl doesn't even train.
You know, this is really interesting. Ron Johnson.
Is that our Ron Johnson?
I don't know. We should check it out, though.
You think he would send you a video and not say anything?
Well, how could he? You know, we don't show favoritism to anybody,
right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Let's
pop it in.
Yeah, Ron Johnson.
Hey Nick, I heard you and Chevy talking about adding non-fighters to MMA Grudge Match. Well, I want in.
That's our Ron Johnson.
That's Ron Johnson.
I have a grudge against my cousin Mikey, and I know I'm just the cameraman, but the cage is the only place where I can get this taken care of.
Oh, this would be interesting.
Mike is a constant, non-stop shit talker. He's my cousin, I love him, but he always pushes things too far, and he always knows more than you about anything. And I've been doing MMA videos and documentaries for 3 years. I know a lot of the fighters, and he knows more than me. Okay, even though he's not in MMA, he knows more than me.
All right, Ron, after talking to you and your cousin about this fight here, I will accept the grudge, okay? You need to take this seriously. You need to get in and train, and you guys need to be both on weight, okay?
I'm 100% in because I've already started the academy, so I'm all out. So.
All right, that sounds good. Remember, you're going to be using the 7-ounce training gloves. You're going to be not allowed to use your knees or your elbows. And then, of course, you have to follow the rules as the unified rules are put in place by the state of Minnesota.
Gotcha.
Okay?
All right.
For this grudge, I'm really interested to see if Ron has learned anything through all of his taping and video work on this project and other projects in MMA. Most of all, I'm interested to see if his cousin can back up his shit talking.
He's old. He's taped a few fights. He knows a few fighters. Doesn't mean he knows how to fight. I'll step in the cage with him.
So I've covered the UFC fighters. I've covered all the top level fighters here. I mean, even the amateur fighters are tough. So Mike has no idea what it takes to get into the cage. Mike's idea of getting into shape is playing softball and drinking beer.
One move. Let it through. There you go.
He's old. I'm young. What else is there to say?
Got my timer. We're going to do a few rounds of jump roping. This is day 1 of training. I need to get back into shape and shut this kid up. I can feel the weight of my stomach pulling me down when I try to jump. 2 minutes. Tired. I'm tired already. Just started.
First thing that jumps at me is he's exhausted after warm-ups.
Right.
And I mean, how far out are we from doing this grudge match? When are you thinking that you actually want to put this fight on? Because I mean, where Ron's at right now, he can only do 14 revolutions with a jump rope, and he's sucking wind.
Yeah. I have some real concerns about this grudge. And my concerns are this, are these guys going to be able to fight technically enough to make it look like these guys are actually fighting, or if they're out there, belly flopping each other, or, what? What I'd like to do is I'd like to suggest that both of these guys get into one of our MMA gyms here in town and start training for this.
So I started doing my training, like out in the backyard and stuff, and I started out with just jump ropes and stuff like that, and it's been kicking my ass, but that little punk has been talking a lot of shit, and that's all I need for my motivation. So I got a lot of work ahead of me. I'm not even close to being in shape how I want to be in shape, but he keeps talking smack. He's going to keep adding fuel to the fire, and we'll see what happens, Little kid gets spanked,
All right, Chevy, you had a chance to check out Crystal Fight Club and the Academy. Both guys are training at their respective gyms. What'd you find out?
Okay, well, basically, Ron's cousin is going to the Crystal Fight Club. It's a great gym based out of Crystal, Minnesota. They've got some really good fighters there right now. They've got some great trainers, a really good program. And from what I understand, talking to their coach, James Clark, he's been showing up. He's been coming in and he's been doing the work that he's supposed to do. I went down there. I had a chance to see for myself. I was impressed. He's in there. He's hitting the bags. He's rolling. He's wrestling. Basically, they're not trying to turn him into something he's not. He is a brawler, okay? They're trying to just basically make him a better brawler and to teach him to neutralize, anything that Ron could come at him with. I went to the Minnesota Martial Arts Academy, which of course is one of the best gyms in the country, and I got to see Ron Johnson down there, and Ron blew me away. Here's a guy where he's more of a technical striker. He's very good at Muay Thai and Taekwondo. He recently just got his yellow belt in Taekwondo. He's been down at the academy training with some of the top guys there, and he's been working his butt off. His conditioning, both these guys, their conditioning has changed a lot. I actually videotaped everything that I saw while I was at the two gyms, and I've actually got it here if you want to take a look at it.
So would you say that this is going to be a classic battle of striker versus ground guy because of the way these guys are trained?
I actually think this is going to be a technical striker versus a very tough brawler. Okay, so a guy who's going to wait for his shots, going up against a guy who's going to be looking for a lot of big shots.
And Ron's cousin is a lot bigger than Ron, right?
Yeah, he is. He's quite a bit bigger, but at the same time, Ron's training with guys that are a lot bigger than Ron down at the academy.
Right.
And so I think Ron's preparing himself for going up against a bigger guy. Okay, so right now, I think it's a great matchup. I don't see either guy having a huge advantage over the other. It's going to really, I think this one's going to come down to conditioning and who wants it more. And I can tell you this much for sure, this grudge is for real. These guys do want to beat the hell out of each other.
Did a cardio test, and I can feel the improvements, So my stamina has gone way up. I've increased my jump roping frequency, and Mike's going to know this is for real because this is coming off. And he's not going to have anything to grab onto, He's not going to be able to pull any bitch moves on me.
You had said that you wanted me to kind of get, a little bit deeper into this grudge and see if there was any way that I could possibly get them to, do a little bit of smack talking.
Yeah, don't sugarcoat it, man. Instigate.
Okay, well, I'll tell you this much. I didn't have to instigate. There was a ton of smack talking. As soon as I went to talk to his cousin Mikey at the Crystal Fight Club, the smack talk just started rolling out of his mouth like you wouldn't believe. Number one, Ron's over the hill. Number two, he's way too old to be fighting a guy like Mikey. Number three, he's a pussy. Number four, Ron was always afraid of him as they were growing up. That is, according to Mikey, he basically owned Ron. Anytime he wanted, he could get Ron to say uncle. Anytime he wanted, he could put Ron's head in a toilet. Anytime he wanted, he could give Ron a wedgie. He told me he gave Ron a wedgie so bad one time that literally his underwear ripped up through and went over his head, and he fell from the roof. He gave him a wedgie from the roof of their house. So, I mean, this is a guy who talks a lot of smack and thinks it's just a joke that Ron even wants to take him on. Talking to Ron, for Ron, this is a point of pride. Whether all this smack talk is true or not, basically Ron wants to show his cousin and everybody else in the world that he's full of crap and that it's time for him to finally shut his mouth because Ron's just sick of hearing it. And it's not him just telling me this stuff. He tells Ron's whole family this stuff. He's told Ron's fiance this stuff. I mean, going way beyond what family members should be treating each other like. I mean, it's pretty insulting. This is the real deal.
Let's give Ron the chance, and you know, to prove himself. And you know, like I said, I love the grudge match from the beginning. You have to be family members, and you really can't lose there as long as the fighting looks good and these guys go after each other. I mean, that's really all we can care about here.
Well, that, and the other thing too is, I mean, you know, these guys have a legitimate grudge that it sounds to me like this grudge is extremely old. Like, this has been going on for years. And what I like about this is once they actually do get into the cage and they're able to get in there and settle their differences like men, you know, with their fists, I think that it's going to bring them closer together as family members.
It's fight week. Fight's in a couple days. I wish I had a couple more weeks to work on takedown defense and submission defense. But as long as I keep moving, I should be fine. I feel my cardio is much better than it was before, and I think that's my big advantage over Mike.
Well, I've been working over at Crystal Fight Club with Jim. You know, he's been teaching me grappling, you know, submissions and everything, and then working with my cousin who's a Golden Gloves boxing champ, and you know, he's helping me with my boxing, you know, my striking, so pretty much got everything prepared.
You're a grappler, you're a wrestler style. Expect you to go for the takedowns. That's what we're gonna throw the combos are. From hard to the body. And with explosions. 4 shots. Ready? Practice the fake and out. How you feeling about tonight?
We're like, you know, just a few minutes. We're a few minutes away from this grudge getting settled, you know, and my corner man's late. He's running behind. He got stuck in traffic in Minneapolis, so I'm just kind of getting loose without him, you know, and you know, I got my game plan, you know, and you know, so.
Do you have a prediction for
I know
the
what I'm
fight?
gonna do, you know, and.
Do you have a prediction for tonight?
I think I'm gonna wear him out, and then I would say probably 2 minutes into the second round, I'll probably give him a submission of some kind, you know, some sort of I don't know, something.
Well, good luck and stay healthy, both of you. Mikey.
Hang in there, Mike. Get up. Mike, get on your feet. Wait on him, Ron. Wait on him. To go again.
10 seconds.
Round was done. Kept him at bay with my kicks, my jabs. Not in too much danger, but I know that if he gets me down on the ground with that weight of his, I'll be in trouble, so I gotta keep my game plan going. Keep him at bay with my reaches, jabs, kicks, and when he's tired, pounce on him and get the win.
But don't grab his face and squeeze. Open your hand up and slide it along his neck, right? Make sure your arm is back to the throat, and then you're
Second belt.
Spin him around and put him up against the cage, Mike. There you go. Spin him around. There you go. There you go. Like, snap him down now. Snap him down. Snap him down. There you go. Hit him. There you go, Ron.
You can't knee him, throw that off and hit. Throw that off and punch and hit, right? Drill that leg again. Drill that leg. Drill that leg. There you go. Attaboy. There's that head. There's that head for you. Now work it in. Bring his face up. There you go. Lock that up. There you go. Push your weight. There you go. It's that.
I got to give Michael, respect for getting in there with me, and he pushed me. I was a little worried in that first round because he had me against the cage, and I couldn't like get my underhooks in, because I wanted to flip him on the cage, And for a bit there, I was seriously worried.
Is that your first time being slammed against that fence, though? I mean, that's,
Well, getting slammed against it was
hard.
Was unique, I didn't feel it, But I knew I was against it, and I knew I was in trouble because, he had me on the outside, pushing against the fence, and I could hear his coach yelling, drop him, but I guess in one way, listening to his coach helped me to know what to defend against.
Definitely ended not the way I wanted. Definitely got gassed in a second. Couldn't really do anything once you're out of breath. Couldn't find that second wind. Gotta give him credit. A lot stronger than I thought. I thought I could bowl him around, throw him around a little bit, but definitely held his ground, and when it came down to it, he had more wind. And so I got the submission. So I guess I gotta shut up a little bit now, but still keep it open here once in a while.
So I was pretty pissed off when this grudge started with Mikey talking so much crap, but in the end I think we both learned a lot. I was able to apply what I picked up from doing mixed martial arts documentaries and working on this show and applying it to my game in The Grudge. I have more respect for Mikey for actually backing up his words and getting into the cage with me so we could settle this. And, I'm not going to be an MMA fighter, but I will be involved in martial arts for the rest of my life.
After years of verbal abuse from his cousin Mike, Ron Johnson has finally gained the respect he deserves. Nobody was injured, nobody was hurt, although I'd say Mike's ego may be bruised. But he'll come back from that. Family dinners from this point on, I think, will be a much more happy time.